Hello again, my little lore addicts. Though it has been over a month since we last cracked the dusty tome of history, we are finally ready to do so once more. I apologize for the delay. I did have to have this ancient book rebound after all. Age will do a number on many things, leather included. In the meantime, it has come to my attention that quite an integral part of Vakrius' story was left out. I mentioned the last time we sat together that Vakrius had Drelic. However, Drelic was not an only child. Drelic had twin siblings named Bora and his twin sister Farah. I'd bring these two up now because we will be going over their stories soon. Keep their names fresh in your mind, my little lore addicts. Now, the reason you have come here to sit by the fire with me this evening, you wish to know more of Drelic the Vengeful. Since my coffee is hot, my pipe lit, and the fire already crackling, let us delve into the story of this once proud but now twisted soul, shall we? Drelic's true story begins shortly after Vakrius was given the hourglass by the hand of the Reaper. Drelic was not privy to the dealings between his father and the Spectre of Death. However, a cold chill would slowly creep into Drelic's aura from that day forward. A savant by all accounts, Drelic was the living definition of a prodigy. His mastery of subjects that outweighed minds decades ahead of his own was noted by all, his father chief among them. Seeking the wisdom of the immortal counselor Persephone the Wise, Vakrius was given a very cold, very stern warning about Drelic. Vakrius, you will not like what I am to say, little one, but that boy will be a problem. There is a darkness about him the likes of which I have not seen since I was forced to behold the dark beast, the bastard offspring of the god and goddess of darkness. That boy will be the cause of great evil in this world, and you will be responsible for shepherding him into the depths. Vakrius stood blinking at her words. Persephone was known for her intellect and her tact. For her to have spoken so bluntly to anyone, much less him being the king, left him stunned. He did not bother to question how she had known of the Reaper's decree. Persephone seemed to just know things like this. He was concerned, however, that he would be the one to claim his son's soul and be forced to take it to the underworld, and not the undying lands. You look as if there is something else preying upon your mind, young one, she asked, seeing he had not moved in some minutes. The moment, however, that his question came from his mouth, asking who Terravisk was, and why the name was known to him, for he had been given that name by the Reaper, he was violently rebuked for speaking the name in her presence, and told if he ever did so again, she would have his left ear cut off and fed to a pig. Left stunned once more, she quite literally stormed off. He turned his attention back to the matter at hand. His son's arrogance was leading him down a path that would ultimately end with his banishment to the depths of Momocedo. Now, the underworld, the abyss, the depths, hell, Tartarus, Momocedo, all names for the same place. However, the name Momocedo will come into play further down the line. Keep that one fresh. Despite his father's best efforts, Drelic continued down his path of arrogance. It did not matter how often nor how severely he was reprimanded by his mother or disciplined by his father. The boy fast became a menace. If anything, the attempts to correct his course seemed only to drive him further down the road of darkness that he was on. Vakrius and Verdana could do naught but look on as their hearts broke from the inability to help their son. It was not long after graduating from the academy. Remember, this was in Riyadh, held in the Azure Castle Amanonel, with honors no less, at the top of his class, that the first unforgivable act Drelic would commit occurred. In a rare situation, he came upon Kelik Sabra, the daughter of Astaro Kelik and Kelik Alqua, god and goddess of ice, bathing. In a moment of absolute seriousness here, no, I'm not about to say that there was anything like of him forcing himself on her. So rest easy, all. I'm not about to say anything even akin to the word used to describe that situation. Watching her for a time, he hid himself and followed her when she left, getting the idea in his head to watch her and learn her habits. She was a celestial beauty after all. Who could help but fall in love with her? His love, however, was twisted. He began doing everything within his power to seduce her from the moment of first introducing himself. Sometimes the allure of the Draco charm is used quite wrongly, as evidenced by this fool's actions. It was bad enough that he eventually succeeded. However, the sky turned to blood once they had finished, and to the horror of Sabra, Drelic pulled a knife and stabbed her in the heart. The world immediately went dark around Drelic as the gods themselves convened around him, taking him into their custody as the ice gods claimed their daughter's body. She would in time be revived, but the damage was already done. Drelic would be held for a time before finally being released 100 years later. Despite the flustering he had done, the divine tribunal had been composed of only the goddesses. In English, boy was fucked. 2 curses were placed upon Drelic at this point. The first was a secret curse placed upon him by Lilith, goddess of darkness, pain, and death. We'll get into that one later. The other was that henceforth Drelic and all male sons of the Draco line directly descendant of him would bear the marks of Daggeth, a holy curse that would accumulate over the bearer's body. They would only be visible on the body of the sitting monarch. Every evil deed would add another mark, and only a truly selfless act would remove one of them. Each generation would bear their own set of marks and those of previous generations, quite literally sins of the father here. Eventually the marks would consume the body of the sitting monarch, ending Drelic's line, or a selfless king would arise, eradicating the marks from the family's blood. And that, my little lore addicts, is where we will be leaving the story off for now. Drelic's a bit of a shit, isn't he? His story, however, is not done. Not yet. We will be coming back to reading more from this dusty old tome on a more regular basis. I assure you of that. You've been deprived of your lore for a while now, and we'll be getting it on a much more regular basis. So do remember to come visit me by the fire, won't you? And remember, you never know what is watching you from the darkness. Sweet dreams.